Hello, welcome, Marlene here. For today's cookie project, we're making a cake. I had been thinking about making a unicorn cake for a while and did some research. It's pretty much the same design over and over again, and I just wanted to do something a little different. And so stay tuned for the step-by-step tutorial. Starting off by adding a little dollop of buttercream to my board so my cake sticks. I like using oval cake to make characters. I find that it frames it nicely. And now I'm filling my cake with buttercream that I flavored with amaretti birthday cake flavoring. I just thought that was a good taste for a unicorn. And this is the top part of the cake, so I have a bit of a rounded edge around here, but the buttercream will kind of mask that. And you see now when I put the bottom of the cake here, I'm left with these nice edges. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge to set up before proceeding. This is what I use to flavor my buttercream. It is amaretti birthday cake flavor, and if you look, it is quite dark as vanilla, and it made my icing kind of cream colored. And then when I wanted to color it teal, I don't know if you can see it, it's not like as bright, you know, like that brown color did impact this color, but it's fine. We're going for earthy. But if you want something very bright, I guess if you add more food gel, it might eliminate that, but there is an impact on the color, the flavoring. And now I'm just adding a bit of this teal buttercream to the surface of my cake to give it a nice color and a nice backdrop for my unicorn. Now, much of the cake is going to be decorated, so don't stress too much about it being super smooth. That is not that much of an important thing. Well, here's my cake, and I'm just going to put my template on here so that I can cut out my design. So I'm just going to position this here, and then I can just quickly cut out the design. There we go. And now the second layer, the head that goes on top, I'm going to go with the thickest part here. My convection oven kind of pushed my dough, so my cake is not all the same level. And I'm just going to put this in the fridge to chill so that I think I'm going to carve it a little bit more, but it's too soft right now. Just wanted to show you guys. So I have my unicorn here on top of the cake, and I'm just leaving the parchment so that they don't stick. And now I'm just trimming the bottom here so that it fits nicely onto the round of the oval. So just trim that off, just like that. And now I'm just going to round a bit the edge of the cake so that it isn't so square on the edge. I'm just trimming that off. The head is going on top. So again, I'm just going to trim off the corner so that it isn't so jagged. I'm not that proficient in carving of cakes, but it's just so that it isn't so pointed, you know, right there. That gives it a little bit more of a real look. Now, this might seem a bit strange, but I was trying to think how I could get this on the cake without having a lot of problems and this and that. And so I'm going to decorate the cake on this parchment paper on my cake lifting thing. So let's just get that on there. Here. There we go. There's the ear. Fits well. We've got the edges rounded. And now I'm just going to add a bit of buttercream just where the head is to secure the second layer of the head on top, like so. And then I can just press that in. And now I'm just placing my template, and there's the eye. I'm just cutting out a little hole just so that I can fit the eye in properly when I want to. I'm just carving that out. There. All right, so we're just going to crumb coat this with some white buttercream. A thin layer of vanilla buttercream on this now. And now my horn, which I'm making in cookie, I'm just cutting out a piece of the cake here so that I can pop that in there. Now my horn will go right there. And here is the second ear that we're going to be using. All right, so I'm just going to seal the cake here with a bit of buttercream. And we're going to put this in the fridge to chill. Now I'm just going to secure my little horn here into the cake. I'm just adding a bit of buttercream behind it. I'm just pressing that into the surface. And just sealing that in so that it holds well. And now I'm just going to pour some icing on this to get a nice smooth finish on my horse, or my unicorn I should say. Now I took this regular grocery store icing and I popped it in the microwave, and I'm just going to pour this onto my cake so that I get a nice smooth surface on it. I want the horse to be as smooth as an actual horse. Or I keep saying horse, unicorn. If I can get some of the excess off because it is kind of thick. So let's press it off. I didn't get any back here. And here. Now I have to get this guy on my cake, so I'm just removing the excess icing, and I'm going to pop on my cake lifter. Just put it there for a second. All this fussing is so that I don't get the white icing on the cake. So let's rest. There is our unicorn. I'm just going to remove the excess icing right there, and that's it. I'm going to have the mane here. Here I have a bit of the white, but I can get that off easily there. And there's the unicorn on the cake, all right? And I'm just going to clean up the edges here a little bit, but the mane is going to be there. And here I'm not going to touch it. You're better sometimes to not touch it too much. And there it is. We're going to let this chill, and then we're going to come in and finish it off. Now don't worry about whatever little specks are showing or whatever. It's all going to look fine in the end. And now I took my leftover teal and I made it brown. It's a color that works. And now I'm just adding kind of branches all around my cake to create something a little bit whimsical. And again, don't worry, there's going to be leaves and other elements to kind of hide any imperfections. There. I think that's enough. Maybe I'll just do a few little in here. And then I'll have a few dropping on the side of the cake here. Here, on the bottom, I'm just adding also some branches, and it hides my seam from where the cakes met. But we'll have some flowers and such, but there we go. Here is some gold icing, a star tip, and I'm just creating my unicorn's horn here. I'm just doing a circular motion all the way up my cookie here and then pulling. And there's my unicorn's horn. Perfect. And we're going to airbrush this right now so that we get the gold on it. And I'm just hitting this area here, getting my nice gold color on my, try to shoot away from the white. And there's the unicorn's horn. Forgot my ear, so I got to get that ear in there. I'm just going to trim this little bit here. Let's see. There, that fits in. So perfect. I'm just going to add some regular buttercream to that. Here, let me pull it out. It doesn't have any buttercream on it to stick in there. So there, take two, and let's add some buttercream to the ear. It sticks to our cake here. Perfect. And we're going to add the mane and everything so it'll look perfect. There is the second ear. Now I'm just adding some nostrils to my horse here, like that. And I'm not going to add the smile, it's a bit weird. Now I've got some pink airbrush and I'm just hitting inside the ear here, just like that, and I'm dusting the nose, just a light pink on the nose. And now that my ear is done with the airbrush, I can come in and outline the edge of it. Here's the unicorn, and I've got my marbled pink icing here. And I'm just adding my elements. I'm just adding a few little stars to the mane here. Isn't that pretty? Now back in the fridge. Now, trick for the eye. You want them to be symmetrical. Design your characters to have only one eye. Okay, that's terrible. All right, so now I'm doing my eye here. I've got a dark gray icing and I'm starting here, following the edge and just creating some lashes like so. I'm shaking like crazy. And now I'm just going to create a big round here. That's it. Now I'm using a paintbrush and I'm just gently tapping down the, and if you want to avoid the thing from sticking, you can just put a bit of cornstarch on your paintbrush. There. And we're just going to pop in a bit of a reflection in that eye. All right, now I've got my white here and I'm just creating a reflection in the eye like that. You see, it really brings the little character to life. Now, we've got the unicorn pretty much done. We're gonna add a few flowers and then we'll see how much buttercream we have left to see about a bottom border, but our character itself is pretty much completed. I did add a cookie underneath here. I had a spare ear and I did add a cookie underneath the horn. It was tilting just to give it a little bit of a structural support. And now let's get our icing ready for the flowers. Getting my color pouch ready, I'm just adding here some kind of like orangey color. I actually squirted all my pink back from the main and added some copper to it. That's what gave me this pretty color. And I'm just going to add white to the center. I'm trying to not go too crazy with the colors so that we have something that looks polished and not a color explosion. And then just spread that in the middle here. And we're going to close up the pouch. And now I'm using one of my Russian flower tips here and just marking the bag. And I can come in and cut it. Let's get the excess saran wrap off. Let's pop this in. All right, let's see how they look. I'm going to test the flower on my spatula here to see how they look. All right, that's good. There's white in the middle. I wanted it to not be too colorful. And now I can come in and add my flowers all around here. Now that you have all your flowers on, you can come in and fill all this with some leaves. Anything you want to hide. Leaves are your best friend. Just work your way around hiding any imperfections you're not happy with. I've got these pretty little yellow nonpareils, so I'm just dropping a few of those into my flowers just to kind of jazz them up. I like the look of that. There we go. And so the surface is done. And now all that's left is this edge here. I think I'm just going to do a white border. All right, I've got my white icing, and all I'm going to do is the same thing I did on my unicorn horn, just to kind of tie that in with the designs. I'm just doing a circular motion right at the edge here to clean up the edge on the board, and all the way around. This is very easy, just a consistent circular motion. And that's it. And here is the completed cake. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments. A little reminder, if you decide to replicate this design, there is a cookie underneath the horn, since the icing did make it a little heavy and it was kind of bending. So I just popped a cookie underneath and that's all it took. And then I added a few strands of mane there, the pink icing. It hid it very well, so you don't even see that cookie under there. So overall, I think it was a success. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.